miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. If you're watching the video, we haven't exactly choreographed our little bullshit dance moves here. So just ignore that first piece. How about that?
What are you doing over there?
We don't know.
No, you already hit the record button.
So you tonguing that thing over there?
I don't have a bottle.
Oh.
Can't do that.
Terrible.
No
Damn.
gutting. No gutting.
Well, hey, let us
Serona, baby.
Let us be the first to say Merry Christmas to everybody that's out there.
Merry
Tomorrow's a big
Christmas.
day. And, happy holidays if you're corporate instead of Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have to do that out there, or can you say?
Yeah,
Merry
no,
Christmas?
it is a holiday party. It's not a.
Oh, okay.
I think we can say we can say Merry Christmas. But when it comes to which we won't have this year anyway, but when it comes to the Christmas party, it's a holiday party.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's where we are. Which I guess whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Don't be an asshole. Say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand what the big deal is. Like I get the religion side of it, but we're talking about Merry Christmas like Santa type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep. So hopefully you guys do have a good Christmas on Saturday. This is Friday night when we're recording. Spoil the kids and have a good day with your family. It's always nice to have some time off if you got a day or two in there too. But we've got some fun ahead of us tonight. Quite a bit of news. Obviously, some of it's going to be COVID related. We can't seem to bypass that. But otherwise, a couple games to recap as well. But as we get going here, Jimmer, let's see what's going on.
all right. Speaking of which, the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl was canceled after Hawaii announced Thursday that it was pulling out of the game, citing COVID-19 issues within the program in addition to injuries and transfers.
Yeah. Jimbo Fisher, take note.
Stand up answer, right?
Yep, stand up answer. It's kind of everything going on, and
Yep.
they've got this and that, transfers, and can't play.
I know you hate Texas A&M. Well, I get that. And
I'm a hater.
Yeah.
I won't
Well,
lie.
whatever. You know,
Yep.
I'm okay with that because we all hate something. But my point is, would you respected his answer a little bit better if he just flat out
If he
came
just
and
flat out said, hey,
you know what,
yeah.
I don't have a quarterback. We have transfer stuff going on, and we have COVID-19 issues. You probably respect it a little more, right? Even though you'd still
as
be
much
like,
more than you as you could. Yes, I
as
would.
much as you could.
As
He's
as
still
much
stumbling.
you-
He's like, God.
as much.
Yeah, I want you to
more.
be honest, but goddamn it, I hate you.
So to be clear for everybody that's listening, the bowl itself entirely has been canceled,
Yes.
right? So
After Hawaii made that announcement. So Memphis is already over there, the University of Memphis. And I think Chris brought up, I think when you go from mainland even to Hawaii,
I believe they have
you have to quarantine still. But they were there. They were ready to rock. I think we're within a couple days of that game being played. And too bad for them, but they were, they understood too. Their comments back were the same, like, hey, you need to worry about player health, safety, all that stuff first. And number one, they're like, it sucks for our seniors. We wish we could have played it out, which is the first thing you think about. And that outside of the COVID and the health part of it, you start thinking about like
That sucks.
Yeah.
But there's stuff in life. I think we touched on it the other day. That's just not fair, and that's unfortunate.
it is. Yeah, sucks. Is what it is, right?
yeah.
Speaking of unfair, Washington football team safety Shazer Everett was the driver in a fatal one-car crash with his passenger Olivia S. Peters, 29, of Las Vegas, dying at a local hospital. Everett is being treated for serious non-life-threatening injuries. There was not much detail from this except for like time, anything. There was nothing like that. The one thing that they said is that the vehicle dipped into the down into the ditch on the right side and hit a tree or two and then rolled over a few times. So Don't know if there's alcohol. Don't know what time it was. Don't know if it's 100% honest or
Yeah.
you're not paying attention or what happened.
I haven't heard much about it. Doesn't sound like much has come out yet.
Right. So I'm surprised. Usually, whenever these come out, there's usually like a time on it. So that also tells me maybe it wasn't a late night one. Maybe it was a legit accident. Like he came down in there. Hopefully it's a scenario there.
Yeah, usually the media jumps on it if there's any indication
Of alcohol or drugs, guns.
So
anything
hopefully
like
not.
that.
And
Yep.
hopefully he ends up okay.
And prayers up for
Oh yeah, passenger and
the
her
passenger
family.
and her family.
Yeah.
That sucks. The Cowboys clinch a playoff spot with the Titans beating Danny's 49ers on Thursday Night Football, which also took the Titans up to the number 2 seed.
Yeah, man.
Go Cowboys. Thank you very much.
Are you out of breath from dancing for a second?
It was gonna happen, but just
But it's done. It's signed,
Yep.
sealed, right?
yep. Sign, seal, deliver.
Yeah, you made it, man. This tells me I haven't known how to feel about the Titans since Derrick Henry left, right? I haven't known how to feel, and they eked out a tough one with the Niners. I didn't expect them to win at all. You can keep talking shit about how I picked the Niners to end the season, right, when it started, but they're a good football team.
Well, no,
and the Titans beat them pretty depleted.
You started cranking back up on them here recently. That's the reason I'm also taking the shot. Not even your first part of it. But my question was about to be, what's more impressive? Or, how do I want to put that? So, is it more impressive that the Titans won, or are you more upset that the Niners pissed one away? Because they were the Titans were pretty banged up, missing a lot of players, COVID, all that stuff for this game.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity to go to 9-6, said down to 8-7. In fact, they opened the door for quite a few teams actually too.
Yeah, they did. Honestly, I think it's more impressive that the Titans keep doing this. I mean, they're at that
just
same
hanging,
point.
right?
They're hanging.
They're just
getting
doing
these
what they need to
Ws.
do, right?
Yeah, and that defense is still every game. They impressed me a little bit more. I didn't think they were very legit. I kind of thought the game against the Rams where they beat the shit out of them, I was like, okay, that defense was just on fire that game, whatever. But they seem to be doing it. I think they got 2 more picks the other night.
Yep.
Forced a fumble. I mean, they're coming to play, and if they keep this up and Henry's able to come back,
Huge second half from A.J. Brown in this game.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown ended up with, like, I don't even have the
11
stats in front of me.
catches.
11 catches, like
190 yards or something like that.
something ridiculous, and a touchdown.
yeah.
So he had 165 yards. Ryan Tannehill had like 200, 210 all passing yards. So 165 of those, I do believe, went to that man right there. Which, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
Because when he's right, he already showed before he had another receiver opposite him that he was a stud, right? Or the up and coming one. He just been banged up, right?
Yep.
This is the one thing that I have been preaching. They just need to hang in there. Hang in. Win one here and there. That's all you got to do. Make it, and then you get your boy back. All indications is that he's still on pace to come back for the playoffs. That's what it's looking like for Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
There's been no reports of any setbacks is what I'm getting at. So you just keep hanging in there, and it looks like so instead of beating up on your Niners, I am more impressed with the Titans is my point.
Yeah.
That you were able to pull that off. Yes, it was at home and all that, but technically the road team on Thursday Night Football usually doesn't bode well over history, but I thought it was more impressive that way.
Yeah, they have 2. I think the last couple games they have is what Texans Jags, I believe. Yeah. Either way, the last 2 games they should be able to pull off. So they'll end up with 11 wins, which could end them with the 1 seed, right? And then you've got a basically fresh Derrick Henry coming back.
You mean they could end up with 12? They have 10 now.
They have 10, or so 12. Yeah, you're right.
They could end up with 12, but
yeah,
it's so tight up there.
It's insane.
It is. It really is. And the Chiefs have. Well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. NBA and NBAPA are near an agreement to reduce the 10-day quarantine periods for COVID-positive players, sources told ESPN on Thursday. The arrangement, expected to soon be shared with the teams, could return some players to active play in 6 days based on testing procedures. which I think it comes. I think this is. So I'm on the fence on this one. Maybe you guys could help me a little bit, but I'm on the fence. Is this safety or is this money? Because they're also, like, if you look at all these teams, they're literally grabbing, unretiring players to sign to fill gaps because that's how much we're going through all this.
Right.
I don't know if they just don't want to cancel games is what I'm getting at. Because I think the standard has been as long as you have COVID, if you test positive for COVID, you're out 10 days. Has that not been the standard for a while now?
Yeah, probably just trying to, get one back for the owners. Getting fans in there and keeping the games rolling. And, because we had the year that nobody was allowed in and then the bubble. So it's like, okay, let's keep this thing rolling as much as possible and get everybody's money kicked back to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
like you don't just drop 10-6. Like it isn't like you went 10-8. Right? You drop 4 more days off of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everyone's 100% vaccinated, so it can't be that. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Let's see. Blazers guard CJ McCollum's right lung is fully healed, and he will be reevaluated next week. He was diagnosed with a collapsed lung earlier this month after suffering a rib injury in December 4 loss to the Celtics.
Good.
Yeah.
Way faster than I expected.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, CJ. There's no respect on that guy.
No respect.
Slugger Cody Bellinger and the Los Angeles Dodgers agreed to a 1-year, $17 million contract to avoid arbitration before the December 1st lockout. The deal was not announced after the lockout as teams are not referencing players by name during the work stoppage. Do you think it was actually done before the lockout?
Nah, probably not.
I think it was a little
under
tunnel shit.
It was under the table, probably.
Predated paperwork.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever predated a check, Danny?
No, that's
Okay.
illegal.
Okay. Post-dated, pre-legal, whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting to lock them up for 1 year.
You know the funny thing about that? I have received, I think it was for like Girl Scouts or some fundraiser. From a cop, I got a post-dated check. Pretty sure you're not supposed to do that, right? I don't personally give a shit. I just think that there's stupid laws. I'm getting at there's like dumbass little laws in the thing, and I get, but I was just thinking about that after you touched on like no, that's illegal. Yeah, you are right.
Post dating isn't. So that's like I'm not gonna have money in my account till Friday, so I'm gonna
Right.
give you a check and write the date Friday. But I think if you do it
I think,
earlier,
I think post dating is too though. I don't think you're supposed to be writing a date on there unless you're putting on the date that you're writing the check.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that everyone follows through. I'm not saying it's one of
Yeah.
those things that's ever prosecuted. That is not what I'm saying. I just think it's like one of those, because I think there's also a weird law down south where you're allowed to, whoop your wife once a month legally. Like Arkansas or Alabama or something like that. It was like one of those down yonder. One that they never took.
You made my sandwich wrong. You know I like honey turkey.
Honey turkey. So what we're getting at, I don't know. I think this is probably done
Oh yeah.
under the radar somewhere. Maybe it was talked about just before, but this would have been announced.
Yeah.
There was one that after the work stoppage happened that broke. Remember, I even said it, and it was like the day after. And like, no, you guys.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks into December.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm wondering. This makes sense on the timing, unless it was just like, hey, who knows how long this thing can get going. Let's get you locked up for the rest of the year. So whatever it comes out to, say we play 60 games, you at least got your check. And maybe he was just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, we don't want you going anywhere else. 'cause
Right,
We want to
and-
still roll for a chip.
Right. So, I don't know. Just kind of weird.
The Rutgers will replace Texas A&M as the opponent for Wake Forest in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl on December 31st.
Yeah.
The Rutgers are 5-7, but kind of like a deceiving, weird 5-7 too. They did get blown out in a few games, but other games they were pretty tight. So I don't know. 5-7, I guess, is what you get.
Any reason they would have picked Rutgers over the Longhorns? Real?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Maybe trying to give somebody that Wake Forest can beat.
Man,
They can't beat Rutgers, and they would have given Texas then.
they
would
Probably
want-
giving them something for a feel good story
They-
for them, right? They never got any love in the poll. They were undefeated for however long. And be like, yeah, here you go. Here's a slap, whatever to
maybe they
get
did-
you a win in the bowl game.
You should have just said
Maybe.
they probably did hit him up, and they just denied it. That's what you should have said.
I didn't. You said it though. Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Iowa Hawkeyes football center Tyler Linderbaum raises $30,000 for Iowa Children's Hospital using the new rules of the nil deal. So basically, this whole year they haven't been able to. Usually, that Children's Hospital will come over to the stadium. The players will walk them through and all that stuff and
Right.
interact with the COVID protocols and stuff for both the hospital and the school, obviously. They haven't been able to do any of that. So he went out and basically fundraised off of his name and donated it to the hospital.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That is awesome. I'm not sure. I mean, a great cause and everything like that. That's awesome for him to do. But the hospital probably did need it with how much the COVID money is going around. You know, or what we hear from the COVID money going around.
They always need the money.
So
They always had the money.
saying they're
Need the
always
money.
always getting money,
Yeah.
especially once COVID. That's all I'm saying is they're probably getting plenty of extra money from COVID.
Can you hear this guy right now?
No, I'm just saying.
It's an Iowa thing. He can't.
Yeah, he just can't not put some sort of negative
Yeah.
thing.
No,
on it.
I think it's awesome that he's doing it. I'm just saying, like,
You-
with all the COVID stuff that's been going on and them hospitals getting all kinds of money, it probably wasn't like needed. Now, it's definitely a great gesture on his part, and definitely a statement from he's going to be a number one draft pick or a first round draft pick,
first
and
round. If you're smart, he'd be number one.
he won't.
If you want to build,
He won't be. They'll get one of them pass
they never.
rushers
You,
first.
you know what's awesome? So everybody will tell you, any real football coach, any real football mind, right? We'll touch on that a little bit. They will flat out tell you that what makes a football team is built where
in the trenches.
in the trenches, defensive line and O line. That's
Yep.
not just O line.
To either
that's
side of the
D-line.
ball.
Either side of the ball. You know how often outside of tackle and outside of edge rusher, you see a number one pick go for the interior line of either one, offense or defense, even though it is built in the trenches?
Mm-hmm.
It's not sexy.
Right.
Yeah.
Not sexy at
So
all.
you're not really trying to build a real franchise, what you're trying to do.
So what they call the tackles, the quarterback protectors, right? And then
Yeah.
your inside guys are your run blockers. And then on the other side of the ball,
Until-
your
until
inside
they-
guys are
until-
your run stuffers.
Absolutely. Until you have Aaron Donald on the other side, and he does it from the inside.
Well, he can do it from anywhere, but
Right.
I'm saying just being like traditional namesake. That's what you say. So they pick those outside guys, protect especially the blind side of the quarterback. Those guys go first, and then those guys that can produce sacks.
Just like, and I guess that's what I'm getting at, is that most of these teams, if you really want to win, that's what you're going to build it. It's not sexy. It's going to be boring.
Yep.
It's going to be boring for years to come. What's the number one thing you were bitching about this year about your program, Rio?
Yep, can get pressure on the quarterback.
And your pressure on the quarterback, and your offensive line wasn't as good as it was last year. You lost some boys that went to the draft, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm getting at. If you really
yeah.
want to build a program, you really want to build a real foundation of an NFL team or a
Yep.
professional team, you go there and you start there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else will figure itself out. Guess what? You can throw a dude back there, almost anybody in the behind you at running back, if you have 5 legitimate starters on the offensive line that move brick walls.
Yeah.
And they make the world. So if they don't get touched for 5 yards, does it matter if that was Derrick Henry or Ramondre Stevenson? At that point, it doesn't matter. I mean, what old boy brings is he'll take it to the next level because he's going to lay out the linebackers and shit. But you get what I'm saying.
What's the matter with Ramondre? Jeez.
Stop it.
Big time call out.
No, it's not nothing
I'll
bad.
tag him on Twitter.
Yeah, tag him on Twitter. There's nothing bad about Ramondre, but you
Jeez,
know what
man,
I'm
look at
getting
this.
The level.
Bashing on you.
Talking about
He
the
just
level.
had to be a Patriots guy, too, he brought up, right?
Had to
What
be.
happened?
Had to be.
Oh, jeez. Okay, fine.
Oh.
What do we want to go with?
Yes.
That's fine. But you get what I'm saying. I'm like, if you open
Yeah.
up both of those, I just
But
it's
it
not
never
the sexy
happens.
pick.
Never
Yeah, it's not the
happens.
sexy pick,
Yeah.
and that's what they're gonna go with. The sexiest pick they're gonna make is the left tackle.
Mhm.
The most boring, sexiest pick will be the left tackle. That's what it'll be.
I do
Which
like
is
what teams
frustrating.
are starting to do in the draft, though, where they bring in the receiver that played with the quarterback, like Burrow, like Tua, like because you can get some chemistry right away.
Right
and
away.
things
Yep.
like that. I
Yep.
like that, assuming they're a good enough receiver anyway. But
Well, if they were, most times they're going to be though. I guess like if otherwise you want it. Their top 2 receivers on any one of those teams are usually pretty good, at least for them, for that quarterback. So, 'cause Jalen Waddle wasn't probably the best wide receiver, right, of the ones that Tua played with, but the chemistry, like you just alluded to, makes it that much more easy and special. I mean, he probably was the least. I shouldn't say the least talented, but the other receivers that were on the board there. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Rams running back Cam Akers off non-football injury list, but the team will not rush his return. They have 21-day window to put him on the active roster after returning from a torn Achilles only 5 months ago.
Yeah, definitely a stud. When I saw that he was back, I was like, wow, that's insane. But
Getting done a little sooner. Fantasy, baby. We
interesting.
need some
See, yeah, to
decent
see
guys.
what they do here. Definitely will give you a spark in that backfield for a playoff push. Still got to win out, win and certify that playoff spot. It's definitely getting tight there in the West. But
I think it gives them a little more depth than because I think their running backs have been doing. Both of them have been doing pretty good whenever they're in there. Either way,
yeah, Sony has too.
Doing well.
Sony and Darrell.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they've both
Cam
been pretty
Akers
good.
gives you.
He's
a
a
little bit
different, and he
yeah.
is, and you're right. He is a different player. He's a little more special of a talent. I agree with you. I just mean I think this is more depth, which is huge right now.
Yeah.
And maybe it will. Maybe it'll be.
I
But with an Achilles 5 months ago, and
yeah, you got to be
still in the
careful.
same season.
I mean, I say you bring him in and maybe give him 8 touches, something like that. Cap him at 8, maybe progress him a little more, but cap him at 8. And at least you get a little spark if you give it to him. Maybe he can be, if anything, a decoy too.
Yep.
But I think he'll get activated. I think that's what you should do: activate him but just cap his touches and getting by with what you had. Now you here's a playmaking threat. You get him 8 to 10 snaps, something like that, and then sometimes you give him the ball, sometimes you don't.
Yep, I like it.
But because Achilles, you got to be real careful. You're looking long term too.
No, absolutely. Because like we alluded to, that's a different back than the other two. He's a little more special, a little more of everything out. He didn't help me in fantasy last year till it was too little, too late. Appreciate you, son of a bitch. And then when I needed to count on him, I think he got injured last year too, right?
Yeah.
I think he got hurt late in the season. Yeah. So, NFL Chief Medical Officer Dr. Alan Sills says symptomatic players are driving COVID-19 spread with no indications of asymptomatic spread. Is that weird to you?
Really weird.
Yeah, it's almost like that's the way it's always been with every kind of disease or infection or whatever. Like, if you're symptomatic, you can spread it because you're coughing and you're sneezing and all that shit. If you're not, and you're just breathing, I think you'd be all right. But at least somebody said it at that level.
You're insane.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just so many people just want to say.
It all at the end of the day it comes down to money too. Right?
Yeah, it's a money
it's
thing.
both.
and-
I'm agreeing with what you were saying, but it also is. Do you think he'd be saying that if there wasn't money attached to it? Like, they're not going to admit
Probably
that.
some,
They're not going to admit, and they wouldn't admit that because the NFL and the government are pretty tightly close.
And anybody who's tried to say stuff like that, there's
Usually shut down, right?
hush down, shut down
Yep.
real fast.
Why is it okay now all of a sudden? Because there's money. There's billions in money attached.
Yeah, it's because they want to walk back some of the precautions. And the only way to do that is if something changes.
By making it seem like it's
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
like something we've been saying for so long. Like, I
Right.
think we're over. Never mind. I'm not going that far.
Yeah,
We're not going down this road. But
we could, but no.
we could. The Saints are going to start rookie quarterback Ian Book. I don't know if I need to say that again for Danny because he did miss that earlier when I was going over notes. Ian Book is the quarterback from Notre Dame, by the way, from last year. For Monday Night Football against the Dolphins, with both Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian put on the reserve COVID list, they have signed Blake Bortles to back him up.
Get it.
I hope they bought him a couple packs of heaters, too.
No doubt.
What would you do if you weren't playing football? So you could probably be working construction, ripping cigs. I don't know if that's what he was really doing, but
Right.
it's I don't know. As soon as I want to go put a fork in the Saints, they're gonna do something, and it is at home, so that helps. That helps a rookie. Maybe you're gonna go run heavy, which not bode well for me because Alvin Kamara is on the other guy's team, and
That's what I was going to say.
but the Dolphins are like one of the hottest teams too. I started looking at that too, and
Yeah, defense does play with fire sometimes, and
you're
and
playing a rookie,
intensity.
and you're playing a rookie quarterback.
right. So they may be blitzing constantly. So
Yep.
that'll help against the run a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Kamara's going to have a way bigger game than he's had probably in a while. Taysom doesn't look to him, so usually Taysom will run too fast, to try to get out of trouble, or he'll look down the field. He doesn't go to Kamara. And this rookie probably will. That's the talent you have. I don't know what kind of legs this quarterback has.
It's true, but is he going to be able to deal with that all-out blitz? Is he going to be able to deal with the in-your-face?
Yeah, he will.
So he will. You know this for an answer. Okay. Hey, he sounds pretty confident.
Yeah, you asked, Rio answered.
He answered,
So
so he's
there
ready
you
to
go.
put his house on it. Appreciate it.
Hold on, maybe just the garage.
Just
Maybe just
scratch.
a garage. Is it finished?
Yeah, mostly.
Mostly.
There's no siding yet, but
I don't know. It's hard to go against the Saints because they usually stick you right in the rear end when you cash them in. But I think it's actually hard to go against the Dolphins right now. And they have all their guys.
Yeah.
So Tua's been playing good football. I'm not saying he's extraordinary or anything like that, but he's been playing good football. He's been doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
They want to run the ball, and that defense is lit a fire. So
Yeah, Tua's been playing really good for a left-handed quarterback. Just to be clear.
actually, he's been playing. How many left-handed quarterbacks are in the league? So he's been playing exceptional left-handed football,
Yes,
but he's been a good quarterback overall.
that's correct.
Okay, appreciate that. Danny has his quirks, and one of them is left-handed. I'm not big on left-handed people either, Danny. I'm right-handed.
I remember, who was it? SportsCenter, ESPN. They put like all three of the Alabama's quarterbacks, him, Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, all in a picture. It was like starting, Monday night or whatever it was, whatever games.
Yeah.
And I was like, quit trying to convince us that Alabama quarterbacks are good.
Right.
Whatever.
Like we know. Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper says he is frustrated with the offense, even with the team winning, saying that he could help more if he had more targets in the red zone.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as what some people are saying if you actually watch the video. Offense has been struggling.
Yeah,
a
but
little
it's
bit,
how I type it, so it is that bad.
I know, exactly. That's why I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but
He did say that that second part just like that though. He said I could help that
Yep.
offense more if I had more targets in the
The
red
red
zone.
zone.
That's
Yep.
not me like modifying it. Now, did I leave some other parts ahead of it out? Maybe. He did say the offense overall. They're disappointed that the defense shouldn't have to be doing what they've been doing. Is what he's saying.
And defense has been balling out and helping out. They're gonna be a dangerous team if that offense turns it around. And for whatever reason, it just hasn't been clicking like it was earlier in the year. But the way the defense is balling out right now, if that offense turns it around, of course, the Cowboys are Cowboys, so it's going to be one or the other. One's playing good and one's not.
True.
Yeah, I was just surprised when you said that. Cooper's not that kind of guy normally, you know, especially if you're winning. Like, just talk to him. Be like, hey, listen, Dak,
Yeah.
you see me.
Well, it all come about because they just asked about, hey, or are you worried about the offensive struggles? The offense hasn't looked the greatest recently, and that's how it kind of come up. It wasn't him just complaining about not getting targets in the red zone. So,
Yeah.
Wyoming Cowboys post online ad pitching football program to potential transfer quarterbacks. They just got done winning the Idaho Potatoes Bowl. And I think their quarterback entered the transfer portal.
yeah.
I like the move. I'll be the first one to say that. I like that. Swing it out there.
Was that where Josh Allen was from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Do it.
they've been traditionally good, not great, good program as of last.
Decent
I
would probably be.
Well,
Decent
I just
would
mean
probably
for
be a
the I
better
just
word.
mean for their conference.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like overall college football, but I think they average right around like 7-8 wins a year. So Josh Allen, they balled out the 1 year, and then they lost all their weapons the next year. Dropped his draft stock, and now he's just became a stud with the Bills. So
Where did
Bills Mafia.
Where did they put this Craigslist ad? Just in their area or across the country?
was it Craigslist?
No, I'm just making that up. Where'd they
maybe
put
it was
this ad?
It was
About to walk on, boys.
posted to Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, let me shout out right now. We got 3 tryouts coming.
Hey, we're coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of a funny move, but it's going to get you attention because the media is going to be like, look at this. What the hell are they doing? And more people are going to hear about it. So
Yeah, why not? That's what I'm getting at. Why not?
Yeah.
Swinging out there, you have nothing to lose at that point.
Right.
You know, it's either that or you pull someone off your grad scholarship players. If not, maybe you grab one of those, maybe the Mizzou one that just went in. Maybe he goes up there and balls out for him.
Maybe. You never know.
But, gentlemen, that's what I have. So before we get to any of the picks, any of that stuff, right? We ran a long ass episode that was funny, stories, anger, and the last one. We didn't get to something that we wanted to talk about. Me and Rio had talked about this at work, right?
Yeah.
We're going to share it with you, and then we also want we do not know what Danny's answer would be in this one, I don't think. Go ahead, Rio. This was literally your question. I'll let you roll with it.
This was my question. I don't even know what had me thinking about it, but
it's money.
Yeah. What number did I throw? $1 million or
five?
Okay. Would you spend 5 years in jail if you knew on that last day you walked out of jail, you got $5 million tax free, sitting deposited in your bank, or day one you step in jail, $5 million in your bank account, nobody else is touching it, right? Including your wife. Okay, so it's just a bank account with your name on it. Boom, it's in there. You can see it. Day one, you walk out, you get that money all to yourself. Are you doing 5 years? Would you do 5 years in prison for that?
Yes.
Okay.
And thank God nobody can touch it because my wife could spend $5 million.
Easy. In less than 5 years.
Yeah.
In less than 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think I got to build onto that question then. For him, what is your max years
For
to that $5 million?
Yeah.
For that $5 million.
For that $5 million, what's the max years you would do? Is it 5, or could you do another year or 2, or could you go up to 10?
10 is a stretch. I think that's where we got to have a conversation.
That's a conversation. I think I'm out at like 7. 7 years is a lot.
5 years is 5 years.
5 years is a lot, but
5
you
years
look
is a
at
lot,
7. I'm
There's
like,
all kinds of loving that you could be not wanting getting at that point. Versus
That's
loving
fair,
that
too.
you wanted that you can't get. So the $5 million is, I like it, but 5 years is a long time, brother.
I honestly, that's where the conversation stops. I think at 5 years, that's where it ends for me. Unless it's like 6, maybe I might poke out of one more year. But
What's your bottom dollar then for that 5 years? Is it $5 million, or could you go less for that?
Oh, it's probably $5 million. I think it's a
$1
fair,
million per year?
Yeah.
I thought. So Rio, yours was you would do 5 years, 4 or 5 million.
Yep.
You might be able to stretch it an extra year. You said.
yeah, I might do a 6 year for maybe, but I wouldn't do any. Definitely would not do any more than that.
So I have the same. I'm gonna echo the same sentiment. Now, I could go any years that got added on have to be added while I'm already in there. And what I'm getting at is, like, let's say I could agree to 5 years. I could agree to 5 years, $5 million. Hey, we really need you to do that extra year, but we need some more rubs. I don't know, but we need you to do. We need you to do one more year. Your $5 million still there. We'll show you right now. It's literally still sitting in this bank account. Here it is. And hasn't been touched. Okay. While I'm there, but I don't know if I could do more than 5 years of initial agreements, like before I go in. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, it kind of depends on that. Yeah, once you get towards the end, do you feel like you could deal with it
Do you
longer?
think you deal with it another year? And you
Yeah.
go, now with my bottom dollar, I could probably go a little lower. For
For 5
just the
years?
5 years. For just the 5 years. I could probably go a little bit lower. We're talking about $1 million. Like, you walk out, no taxes, we walk out, and you're taking that.
Tough. I don't
How
know.
much money would it take for you to do 10 years?
Oh, man.
Like
I don't know.
your whole family tree career altering money.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a bit because that's going to have to snowball at that point. That's going to have to be not just 10 mil, but 30, 50, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to.
I don't know. I'd say at 25, I may rock and roll with it.
25 for 10 years.
I may do it. It would definitely be. I'd definitely think about it.
My wife is coming to grab my daughter's sweet gift that she got that I have to put together tonight.
Yeah.
And not I as in Jimmer, as in Santa has to put it together.
That's right. Santa baby.
I'm still hoping that Santa gets a blowy for it
Whoa.
from Mrs. Claus. What are you giggling about? I mean,
Be his ho ho ho, Mrs. Claus.
Santa baby. What?
Go
She
ahead, you can
lost it.
say it.
She lost it.
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah.
I won't turn red.
I just asked for a beej on this.
I
thing.
thought Santa did.
Santa did, not me. I would never do that.
Why is Santa's sack so full?
Because he only comes once a year, baby. Come on, get out of here with that.
You have another joke, don't you, Chris?
The one I told you before yesterday or the day before.
It's a no.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's a no.
It's a no.
That's a hard no. Hard pass.
I learned.
All right,
I learned that one at church.
So we laid her out. Would you say 30 mil? I was half paying attention.
Yeah, it would be up there. It would have to, because I wouldn't do year for a mil at that point. If we're
No.
doubling that, I mean, yeah, we're up to. We might be able to have a conversation at 30 mil.
Oh, 25. We're definitely talking and pondering about it.
Yeah,
2.5 per year.
It's tough. Something. Yeah,
I mean,
such a long time.
it is.
It is.
So we didn't talk about like which one you go to. There's prisons that you go to that you basically are like almost free.
Yeah.
You know, like you're actually more spoiled than what you probably had out in the streets.
Yeah, there's that, and here's the other thing. Do I get to pick at what age I am when I go in? Because I want to get out
No.
with that cash when
Nah.
I'm 30.
Nah,
No.
it's like right now.
25.
No. See, he already went over this. He's like, you're overthinking this too much. This is just
Yeah,
plain
you're
and
going to
simple.
San fucking, baby.
You're going to San fucking. Ain't San Quentin.
This ain't
Ain't San Quentin. San fucking.
San fucking. Kevin Hart,
know.
get hurt.
Get hard, baby.
Yeah, I
Did-
think that's it.
did-
Like tomorrow. Tomorrow the
didn't Luke-
choice is.
Tomorrow, I'm probably just doing 5 years. Then that's
Okay.
I don't want to go longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta put that in there real quick. A guy told us not to watch Get Hard.
Yeah.
So
Luke Rising.
I hadn't made it to watching it at that point when it first came out. We had a guy tell us, no, it's not good at all.
It's
Don't
horrible.
even waste your time.
Worst movie he's seen in his life, he
Yeah.
said.
He literally tells us both that, right? I'm like, you know what? I think I was like bored like 2 or 3 nights after that, and I ended up watching it, and I laughed
Yeah, I was
my
like, dude,
ass
have
off.
you
I'm like,
seen Wall-E? Like, come on.
right?
Right. Oh my god. Yeah.
Horrible.
I'm like, hold on a second, and I watch this, and I'm laughing hard as shit. I'm like, when does it get so bad that it was like you made it sound like it was the worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. No, not at all.
Yeah, the stall scene in the stall. Are we gonna do this or what? Yeah. I'm gonna get there.
I just love that they set his house up as the prison.
Yeah.
All right. So we got that out of the way. We want to go to. What do you want to do?
Touch on the game from the other night, or the games, I should say.
Go ahead.
Boom. Well, let's pull them up. How about
Yep.
that?
That's what I'm doing right now too. Cayman Jack. Wonderful. Which one you got there? A Moscow Mule?
I have a Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule.
Double dosing them
Get you
tonight.
some of that.
Yeah, so we touched on it a little bit, I guess. Titans eked it out against the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a big win for them. That,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God. I'm gonna double check what their schedule is, but I'm pretty sure it's like Jags and it's Dolphins Texans. So a Dolphins game could be iffy, but then they should roll up the Texans.
Should roll up the Texans. I hope Derrick Henry comes back and is doing okay because I think so. And here's the thing: when Russell come back and they were talking, he's come back early, but he's looking good. Excuse me. I was like, man, I don't know. Throwing hand, all that kind of stuff, and he hasn't looked that great. I don't think since
at
coming
all.
back.
Yeah.
And I think
who's that?
Russell Wilson. And I'm
No, he
thinking
hasn't.
they may have rushed him back to try to.
Because they were still in the hunt at that time.
Yeah. Yep. Try to rush him back. And so I hope the Titans play this the right way. Let him get his full whatever. And I know it's going to be hard, right, because everything's so close. But I hope they do enroll the team they have, get in, then bring him back.
I think, building off what you're saying right there, I think this helped do that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think
I
this
think they
helped
can
do
get
that.
in. I think they can get in now.
I think that helped get that cushion that they needed because they're enough away from the Colts that the Colts would have to win the next 3.
All of them?
They'd have to win.
Yeah.
They'd have to win all of them.
Yep.
And the Titans would have to lose their next 2 altogether.
Yep.
And I think it still come down to some tiebreaker. I had to go back and look at because did the Titans win their matchup against them first, or the Colts beat?
I think they were 1-1 against each other, if I remember right. Well, here's the deal, though. Think about that. Now,
So it'll go to AFC common opponent. So
Derrick Henry, assuming he comes back and the foot's not a bother, right? Imagine facing a fresh Derrick Henry in the playoffs.
right,
Yeah, and he's going to be fresh.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're getting everybody back at about the right time, barring any more hiccups.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this game was so huge for the Titans is what I want to emphasize. This was so huge. They needed this
It was.
more than maybe even the Niners needed
The only
it.
thing I'm going to be scared about, fresh Derrick Henry, but you got to be careful because you can go out and give him 30 touches, sure, but how sore is he going to be from sitting out this many games?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be ready for the next week if you roll him out and do that? to
Yeah,
him?
that's why that goes into your point, right? If they do it right and they kind of stagger him into games and get him more and more touches until playoffs, like mid-playoffs, that's going to be scary if you're anybody going up against him
I
at
don't
that
know
point.
if they can because this isn't a lower body injury, so how much running and hitting
Right.
is he actually getting?
It is. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna go full blown riding my man Derrick Henry here. It doesn't matter. He is a physical specimen. Have you seen him work out? You've seen how big he is. You see how strong he is. He's built for taking a beating for sure. So I think you actually go the other route. You wait until the lower body injury is 100% healed. Doesn't matter if he's taking a whooping or not. And then you can, once everything is cleared, then you're back to, yes, you can take 30 carries. Because he can take, him of all running backs can take that whooping. We were talking about this earlier this season. How much would it take for you to stand in the way of that man running at you, right?
Yeah.
But back-to-back weeks in a playoff,
Yeah.
that's going to be tough just because
I'm not saying it wouldn't be tough. I'm just
2
saying
months off
I'm just
plus.
putting that much on him. That's what I'm saying. I'm putting that much into him. I'm saying, yes, it's very, very tough. I'm not trying to discredit that. What I'm saying is this man is built a different way. He just is.
It would definitely help if they
It'd be nice if you could get
clinch
away with it.
first.
It'd be nice if they could clinch first. It'd be nice if they can get away with maybe they only give him 20 carries or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're going to feed him as much as he can take if they need it.
Well, he can take game 1 back. I mean, he can take 30 carries. I'm talking about week 2 because you tell me how bad he's going to hurt after sitting for what it is 2.5 months off then going and he's going to get ran like crazy probably first game. How bad is he going to hurt trying to go into the next game?
Right.
They shouldn't have to. I mean, that's that awesome specimen Deontay Foreman there to back him up. They shouldn't need to give
I
him.
did forget about that Texas stud. So
Jesus, Texas stud. You know why you forgot about him? Because he wasn't in the NFL. Because he was booty. That's why.
kind of like all the other Iowa backs.
Stop it. It's because we don't get 4 and 5 star running backs.
No,
We'll
I already
be-
told you I'm off that train.
Already
Y'all
done.
should be too. Y'all do get 4 and 5 stars. Y'all don't develop as well, but you'll actually assign studs.
No, they're 4 and 5 star, get downgraded, and then we can bring them back up.
See, that's what I'm saying. No, you don't bring them back up. They just are naturally.
No, not running backs. not running backs.
I know. I'm saying
Defensive
everyone.
players and offense and defensive.
Nah,
line.
you signed 4 and 5 stars, like legit.
Stop it. Stop it. He's trying to go the other way. Stop.
I
But either way,
I'm on to the conspiracy.
so it was 145. Correct myself. I said 165. I was thinking with AJ Brown. He had 145 of the 209 passing yards. I think them getting healthy at the right time is going to be huge, and this was a huge ass game. Jimmy G, 2 interceptions, kind of. I know you shouldn't only place it on one guy. That's not what you're supposed to do, and it's easy to just beat up on him. It's the same thing as beating up on like Kirk every time the Vikings falter.
Kirk is bad, but yeah.
Yeah, well, Kirk isn't bad. He's just not gonna ever win you a Super Bowl. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's not gonna. I'm with you saying he'll never win a Super Bowl by being the guy. Not at the price that they're paying him, because he gets paid like a top 5 quarterback, right?
Right.
If he was paid like like middle of the road or
Yep.
something like that down there, like if he took 20 mil, even 20 mil a year, I think he could, because you'd be able to disperse that money everywhere else to
more,
come up
yeah.
with his shortcomings, right? I agree there, but as long as you keep paying him that, why do you think Tom Brady, besides him being great, let's make that clear, why do you think Tom Brady has been so good for so long? Name the last time he was the number 1 paid quarterback in the league.
Right. He takes pay cuts.
He takes pay cuts for what?
Right.
To get protected
Yep.
and to get the weapons.
Yep. Exactly. He makes plenty of money off endorsement and his wife and all that kind of other stuff, right? And so you always hear of him taking pay cuts.
Yep.
And
That I don't know if a lot of people that did watch the Patriots days with him, he was barely ever touched. So they might not have spent an assload on his.
Well, yes, but also he threw to a lot of running backs.
He did. Yep. So that's built into the program. Absolutely. I'm just saying, a lot of times if you remember watching him, he can stand back there and you see him just hopping 10 seconds. You know, that's what it seemed like, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds or whatever. But they might not have spent all the money on the position players for him, which they didn't do all the time. But that offensive line always kept him up clean.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they did, right? They already had the offensive weapons and stuff down in Tampa Bay when he went there, right? They already had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Gronk came later, absolutely. But Cameron Brate isn't a bad tight end, so that was a Gronk to make him help feel at home, right?
Yep.
And Antonio Brown. But they had all the other weapons. They had all those defensive weapons were already there.
Right.
Yeah.
The offensive line is what they needed to secure up. So what did they go and do? They went and drafted the best tackle in that draft, who also came from what university? I was setting you up for it because you're wearing the hat. He ain't going to say it.
Iowa, baby.
Iowa. Tristan Wirfs.
Waiting for old Rio.
I know.
no
But that
props.
offensive line is what they did right out of the gate to build around him. And he didn't get paid. He didn't go to the highest paid suitor,
Right.
you know, because he wasn't about that. It was like, all right, which team is going to give me the most ability for success? Yes, get paid, but hey, can I live off of 20 mil versus 35 mil? Yeah, I think I can.
Right.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah. Brady ranks 7th overall in average time of throw at 2.06.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
quick.
he
He's quick
throws
about
it
getting.
out.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. You were 100% right.
But
on that.
I get.
I just mean when he had all the time. If you sit back there and just watch though, on the other times, I'm like, dude, come on, somebody get there, somebody, because I was a Patriots
yeah.
hater then.
Yeah, that's why they lost to the Giants twice, is because they had a
They didn't
defensive
have the
line that
time.
could get pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So what I'm getting at is Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins alike. This one kind of, yes, he threw for 322. He went 26 to 35, but 2 interceptions. I think there was. Is he the one that had the fumble? Your boy Debo kept balling out like usual,
Yeah.
but this time he did it as a receiver.
Yeah.
What? What's
Yeah,
that?
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, he had some rushes, but
They need to
Big
bring
time
back.
as receiver.
I'm telling you right now, they need to bring back. He did have a. Your boy had 2 fumbles. He recovered one, and then Brandon Ayuk saved him on another one. That's what happens. Brandon Ayuk got a touchdown for me, thank God. Otherwise, it would be rough. Debo, so in fantasy, that is one thing I want to bring up. So this looks like it's a trend that isn't going anywhere, right? Running back, wide receivers. We're going kind of basketball in a way. Positionless players when it comes to the skill positions.
Yep.
yeah.
You should be able to put them in either spot, right? I know ESPN went away from this year. They just committed to Cordero being a running back. I think you should be able to put them in both. That's what I'm getting at. If you can play them, if you play them both on a regular basis, not like you take 2 carries a game and then you catch 9 passes, but you can play them at a running back.
I think if a certain snap percentage they're lined up out wide, because running backs have always ran out for passes starting in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
But if you line up as a receiver,
that's what I'm talking about, like lining up as a running back.
If you line up as a receiver over, let's say it's, I don't even know how you do it, 20%, 25% of your snaps maybe. I don't know what the number would be, but then yes, then you should be able to use them in either spot.
Right.
Yeah, just it's pretty situational too. Like there aren't very many receivers that can block, that can pass block. But let's say it's set up that way. They just happen to be back there as a distraction or whatever, and they are expected to pass block for the quarterback. It's not usually going to go over as well as if you've got a big ass running back there able to knock somebody down.
Right.
But yeah, you're not wrong, man. Use your talent, right? That's what we're learning. Use it wherever you can. Get them the ball in space. Like
yeah, I'm gonna give you a different curveball here. Also part of a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
How do you drive the price of prima donna wide receivers down? By turning them into running backs who get paid a hell of a lot less than an NFL wide receiver does. Yes, it looks like you're just getting your playmaker involved in the play, right? Does Debo not deserve like top 10 wide receiver money when it's time? He's a pretty special talent.
Yeah.
Right? Jimmy G throws a slant pattern for 5 yards. This dude takes it to the house for the other 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is that the quarterback or is that the receiver? Right?
Yep.
But hold on, he lined up in the backfield for over 40% of his plays, not to mention coming as a wide receiver, end around and getting it. So now all those plays added up, it adds up to he went over 51% taking a handoff. So you're a running back. Now we get to pay you what? $10 million less a year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
It's starting to get a
And
little,
they're definitely going to fight.
They're going to, because
definitely fight
we've
it.
seen some of that, right? We've seen that some of that with like tight ends that literally lined up as receivers, a majority of their lineups, but they're classified as a tight end. Well, there's a huge price difference between a tight end and a receiver.
I don't think they'd let it get that close. If it was close, they'd make sure to, kind of at the end of the year, it's like you got to take so many snaps or a handoff to get an incentive bonus, and you hear about all these guys audible in plays and stuff, so guys hit their bonuses. I think if it was that close, your quarterback should change the play, right? I've heard multiple times, I don't know if y'all have, but or guys being close to incentives and quarterbacks changing or whatever and take care of the guys.
And you'll see that too, like in basketball, when someone's close to a trip dub, everyone will clear away for the one guy to catch the rebound that he needs in the last couple seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think so too. But what I'm also thinking, well, then it's got to do one of two things. It's either going to bring the running back price value up or the receiver price market down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think the running back one will come up again.
You don't think so?
We've just
there's
passed
so many, right?
We've just passed the realm that's not, it's such a passing league, and that's what we're developing in college all these days, that I don't think it'll ever come back up to what it used to be anyways.
Yeah, they run. I mean, too many teams run 2 or 3 running backs too. There's very few.
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're the guy.
Two, 3 running backs. I mean, yeah, you're just not doing that.
Most of the time, it's the guy. The guy that got paid arguably isn't even the best one
Indy
on the roster. Well, yeah, Indy, but then,
that's because on time.
That was a rookie contract, but more specifically,
I don't think he should have got the money. That kind of money.
That kind of money.
Not that kind of money, but he just got paid. He's been in the league.
He's been there, and I think they were burning up. They had to burn up like so much of their cap ultimately. But yes, technically that was a weird instance. I don't know. Pollard isn't on a rookie deal, is it?
Yeah, he's still on his
He's still on a rookie deal.
He's still on his rookie deal.
Okay, but then that's at that point. Are you gonna let the name walk for the guy that looks more talented?
Right.
Because Pollard looks more talented to me. I'm sorry, he does.
Nope. No, he definitely does.
Or the name that can put fans in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is Zeke. That's
Yeah.
still Zeke at the end of the day. He's still a powerful runner. I'm not trying to take away from him, but when I watch the two run, there's a different thing. It isn't just them,
I think
though.
they're two different styles.
It's not just him either, though. So what I'm getting at, this usually happens with rookies and a experienced running back. For instance, the Denver Broncos, Melvin Gordon versus Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
It happens more often with that, like the rookie versus like the vet.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I also think different styles of running. I think you have some guys that are just small and fast, and them lightning, and that's what Pollard is, them lightning electric plays. Can he take it up the middle? Absolutely, because the line of create holes, but Zeke's
I've seen more electric plays from him coming right up the gut.
And I'm saying he can do that too,
Yeah.
but he's not. You don't want him to take 20. I do not want him touching the ball 20 times up the middle.
No, but then you could put that money elsewhere because he was the highest.
And
paid
I
running back,
get it. Yeah, I
right?
get it. And Zeke's definitely lost.
But
a step,
this just building into what I'm saying and what you're saying about the running backs not being worth that, because I think Zeke's the highest paid. If not, he's pretty damn close. He's up there, top
he's
3,
up
right?
there, yep.
Top 3 for sure. So you could disperse that somewhere else if that was to get you some other weapons or offensive line or whatever the scenario.
Yeah.
I don't think it will go up is what I'm getting at. I think it.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think I didn't like the contract. I think we talked about this before. I didn't like the contract. I think we just had to pay him. Same thing with Dak. You just had to pay him, and he was kind of in the driver's seat because what are you going to do? You're not signing anybody. Exactly. Restart. You're not signing somebody walking away from. I mean, so you almost have to pay them what they want,
Yep. Well, like I said, we touched on that one. Did we already talk? Yeah, we talked about that in the last one. Okay. You got weekly picks? What's up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have yours up? You want me to go? What's up?
Yep, I got some.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If
Ray.
you're ready to roll, I'll roll on all my football ones. I got the Saturday game for college as well. I'm going to take Georgia State to win versus Ball State. They're 5.5 favorites. Georgia State likes to run the ball. They run the ball like crazy. At one point, we're averaging 200 plus 200 and something yards per game. I'm going to say definitely going to go ball control, and that is why I'm also going to bet the under on the 50.5 on that game as well. I think they're going to slow the pace down. There's not going to be a chance to score 50 points.
Okay.
And then
I like it.
I think they're going to win as well. Moving on to the NFL, I'm taking Baltimore to cover that 4.5 versus the Bengals. Now, I say they still lose that game. They're 4.5 underdogs versus the Bengals. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think we kind of talked about this earlier.
Who'd you go with? I'm sorry.
Baltimore is going to cover this.
Going to cover. Is it 1?
Yes, it's plus 4.5. I got it at plus 4.5.
Oh, Huntley.
Yes, exactly.
So, okay. So I did hear that. So I picked him up in fantasy too. Which anyone, if he's still out there, grab you that guy.
He's
right
a baller, but I
But,
just think Bengals are going to be too talented.
Yep.
You're
And it's
missing a key piece.
It's at home, right?
I think so.
I
Yes.
think it's at
it is.
Cincy. Okay.
But 4.5, just anything over 3, I think you take in, especially the North here.
Yep.
But I like them to cover and Bengals to still win.
Okay.
Jacksonville, I'm taking to cover and win versus the Jets. They're 1.5 underdogs right now. I think Jackson's going to come out and ball. There was so much bad stuff going on and locker room stuff with Urban Meyer. I think they're going to play for themselves and the coach that took over.
Bevel.
Yep, and just kind of show out the Jets are not that great. I think they win. I don't think it may be 7 to 10 points, maybe more closer to that 7 to 3 probably, but I think they do win.
Okay.
Rams to cover the 3.5 versus the Vikings. Dalvin Cook being out. I do like Madison, but I think the Rams do enough to win by at least a touchdown here. I'm not sure the Vikings can keep up. I was almost going to – I can't remember what the over was, but the Vikings actually what was it? Shoot, I should have wrote it down. But they're really good on the overs. Any game on that, if you bet them, they're really well. They can put points on the board. I just don't think they can hang with that Rams offense. The defense is really bad. So I say win by a touchdown at least.
Okay.
And those are my football picks. I do have a couple basketball picks, but we can save them for.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmer.
I'm gonna run with mine. I'm gonna go. So I only have. Yeah, I have quite a few NFL ones. I didn't pick the same college bowl game as you, but I do have one of those. You want me to go one at a time as an upset or Stone Cold Locks? You want them all? What's up?
Yeah,
How do you want
throw
this?
them all out there.
Okay. So my upset picks are going to be, I have the Bills plus 1.5 at the Patriots. Not unless there's a 75-mile-per-hour windstorm that comes through. Is there any chance that the Patriots actually pull this one off? So,
Thought the same thing about Jacksonville, huh?
That being said, this actually, believe it or not, this isn't even just fully hatred. This is one of those, they have to. because the Patriots just lost.
Hater in the building.
I am usually, and I'm the first one to agree. On this one, the Bills have to. That's what I mean. They have to, because I think that would does that tie them up?
Yeah, it would.
I think it ties them up with in the division, so they need it more than anything. Steelers, I have getting 8.5 at the Chiefs, and I have them covering that. I do. The Chiefs are still riddled by a lot of COVID, and I think that's it. And more specifically, the two guys he only knows how to throw to.
Yep.
So is he going to be able to be a quarterback, a well-rounded enough quarterback to throw to all the pieces? He's going to have to, obviously.
Anyone else.
To literally anyone else. Maybe you pick up Josh Gordon. I don't know. This could be the 1 week that. But I think the Steelers have been playing pretty damn good defensive football, and they've done enough on offense to at least keep this close. I don't see the Steelers winning that. By the way, I'm thinking like a 7-point game or less. And I had the Browns plus 7.5 at the Packers. The Packers, like we've alluded to, just haven't looked quite the same on both sides. They may look like it when it looks at the final score, but the eye test when you're watching the game does not feel like that. And I'm rolling with the Browns to cover that 7.5. Maybe it's right at 7. I don't know, but maybe be lucky by the half point here. I have the Dolphins -3 at the Saints. This is more specifically, this one was difficult. This is me riding a team that I've been trying to tell you has been hot. They kind of turned around. They may have turned around too late in the season, but it's always hard to pick against the Saints at home, and that defense is balling out. But ultimately, so is the Dolphins' defense, and their quarterback has been playing pretty good, and they have all their weapons versus the Saints, who I already alluded to, are starting Ian Book, a rookie quarterback. No shot against them, but I think that's ultimately the thing that kind of pushes this game by that 3+. So, I normally don't do this, but I am. I'm agreeing with you 1,000% on this one. I had the Rams -3.5 at the Vikings. I think this is way too low of a line. The Vikings are hurting badly. They've went through too much on defense. They've lost way too much on defense this year. I don't know if they're going to have Everson Griffin back. He is eligible to come back, but they've lost way too much on defense, and now they're losing their offensive weapons. They've lost Thielen. Now they lose Cook. Cook willed them to basically 2 straight victories, right? Hard running against Chicago, and then whatever the hell he did against the Steelers was ridiculous, right? Alexander Madison is one hell of running back, but he is not Dalvin Cook. And just not enough. I think the Rams are rolling, and this is a time where everything starts clicking, right? And then finally, and that one hurts my soul, by the way. I took a little chip out.
Why is that?
I wish I didn't like them.
Oh, yeah, you're wearing a Minnesota hat.
Yeah, Skol, baby. But I have the Cards -1.5 at home against the Colts. Not only is this a must because they got to stop the skid, but I think I believe they're going to. I think the defense is a touch better, and they're at home against the Colts. They're a little bit better on defense. Their offense is pushed both ways. So what I mean is Carson has not been playing well. Jonathan Taylor has been, right? Kyler Murray kind of has banged up. They don't have much of a run game. They have a guy that James Conner has rushed for a bunch of touchdowns, not a bunch of yards, though. Chase Edmonds is still getting in the flow of things. But Kyler Murray is one hell of a special player, and he has plenty of receivers out there, even without DeAndre, who is still out. But I have them winning this one at home in a close one. Colts have been very up and down, so I would say that'd be the bowl game between me and Danny, even though I kind of like the Colts too. But go ahead and shove it in your team that beat your team of the team of the team of the team.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, and that's what I got for my. Oh, I'll do my one college bowl game. So I have Nevada getting 6.5 against Western Michigan at the Quick Lane Bowl.
It's a Monday game, right?
Yes. Yep. I
Boom.
decided to squeeze her in there.
Yep.
And I have NBA picks too, but go ahead and you roll your 3.
Yeah. So it's basically a week of upset picks. Santa's going to leave some coal in these team stockings, all right?
Ooh.
So the Browns are going to cover against the Packers. I agree with you there.
Mm.
I could potentially see them actually beating the Packers. I think that run game is going to be tough, even at home. But definitely covering. When I looked, it was Packers -7. So I think it's a field goal game-ish. I do have the Ravens to cover against the Bengals. I actually have them winning. I think they basically have to at this point if they want a chance to win that division. And I think you can't count out that quarterback either, man. He's pretty good.
He's
Huntley?
a baller.
Yeah, he's a
Huntley?
baller.
He's a scrappy guy. You heard a story,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and that team just loves him.
undrafted, got cut, put on the practice squad twice with the Ravens, worked his way up to the number 2. You didn't bring RG3 back, and it's one hell of a story.
Yeah, it is a good story.
Yep.
And on top of that, it's coaching too. I think Harbaugh's going to have him ready to play, and they're going to take care of business against the Bengals.
Yeah, they'll go for 2 when they don't need it.
And then you're not wrong at all there. The Lions to cover that 7 against the Falcons. The Lions are not looking like a good team, but they're looking better. It seems like they've got a little something going on.
They're playing for each other or their
Yeah.
coach or something.
Yeah, and the Falcons have been so up and down. I think the Lions will take care of business here. I'm actually just going to say it. I think the Lions will beat the Falcons this weekend.
Ooh.
And the last one is Raiders at Denver. Denver's favored by a point here. I think I'm going to take the Raiders. I think Locke is going to make some mistakes, and the Raiders are going to be able to capitalize since Teddy's out.
Hate in the building.
Yeah.
I'm
Drew
just saying.
Lock's in and put it up to his receivers to give him a shot to win.
Yeah,
baby.
let's go whiskey wager on that. I think
Here we
I'm
go.
going to take the Broncos. I'm just going straight up.
Straight up, yep.
I want the Broncos because I think Drew Lock's a baller. I think he's going to take more chances with the ball, let his receivers make plays, and he's got some weapons out there. So let's go whiskey wager on that one.
Yep, I'm in.
Perfect. I love it. I've always been, especially when you believe, because if you go and look at the stats, and I'm talking about just the defense, Denver's defense is ranked inside the top 5. I don't know if you knew that or not, right? They're pretty damn good defense all around.
Yep.
Okay? And that's even after losing Von Miller. If you have a defense like that, I've always been a full believer in don't be doing the dink and dunk shit. Sometimes if your defense is that good, you can swing some dong and take some pokes downfield. You know what I mean?
Excuse me, what was that?
Swinging dongs.
Swinging donger.
Swinging dang. But you should be taking pokes down the field. I've always believed in that. And that's the one
Yeah.
thing that, that old Mizzou quarterback, a little dum-dum in him, is that he will do that. But he will at least give his receivers a shot to do that. It will bode well for Noah. It will bode well for Noah Fant. It will bode well for Cortland Sutton.
All of his dudes, yep.
I don't know about Jerry Jeudy as much in this one. This is where it's going to help you in this other bet that we have.
I think
But
just
Cortland
he's gonna
Sutton, he
open everything
loves.
up.
What I mean is he loves chucking it downfield, and Cortland Sutton is that guy that goes up and grabs it. So
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. He's more than willing to chuck the ball up, but he's not very accurate, and he's going to throw that ball up when he shouldn't. Maybe they're triple covered, whatever. I think he's going to make the mistakes, and it's going to cost him. So
Randy Moss wouldn't be a Hall of Famer if the ball wasn't chucked into 3-man coverage.
Oh, I didn't know he played for Denver.
You don't know unless
my
you
bad,
throw it. You don't
my
know if
bad.
it's Randy Moss till it's Randy Moss,
Yeah.
right? You gotta throw him. You gotta throw it there to find out.
Yep. But that's what I've got for my NFL picks.
I like it.
What's up in the NBA over here?
All right, so I'll roll.
Yep.
I'll roll here. I'm gonna dip into the Celtics Bucks game in general. So the one interesting thing that I was reading, that interesting fact, is like over 61% of Christmas games hit the under. Vegas hurts very badly on Christmas on the under in the NBA games. Little tidbit for you. That being said, in this particular game, and maybe that's the reason why it dropped so much. Last time I looked, and I'm going off of, so all my stuff is off of FanDuel, just in case anyone
Mine
listening
too.
isn't getting what I'm
We
saying.
do a lot of FanDuel stuff. So FanDuel, if you are listening,
Yeah,
we can hook you up. You can hook us up.
yeah.
Get it figured out.
We'll get you customers. We're going out of our way, so you know.
Right.
Right, you've taken plenty of my money already. So.
Right. There's the other part. Yeah. But that being said, I get mine from there. So earlier when I was filling this out, they had the over at 200. The over under at 219. I am taking the over on that one. The Bucks are one of the better defensive teams, but I think I think they're still missing Giannis.
Yeah.
That means more for me because a little less defense. That's what I'm getting at in that. I do have the Bucks covering that -3 though against the Celtics.
Okay.
So I have covering -3 and an over of 219. Just a bunch of shots getting thrown up.
Okay.
Which we already know. Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that's all they do. They play iso ball and chuck up a bunch of threes. So, I have the Hawks at the Knicks. I have the Knicks -6. This one I'm not feeling confident about, except for the fact that Trae Young, last time I checked, is not playing in this game.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay. So that's the only reason why I'm laying. That is literally the only reason why I'm laying the 6. If Trae Young was in this game, and I know they played earlier this year, and I think the Knicks beat him by 9, we're talking about Trae Young in the Garden. We do know the history, right, gentlemen? Okay. Just nasty. But Knicks -6 in that one. I have the Jazz covering 12.5 at home against your Mavs, and that's purely because of Doncic. That's it. And, okay, so a combo of Doncic, and it's hard to play in Utah. Utah home court is actually a pretty damn big deal. So you combo both of those, the way your offense and your team is surrounded around Doncic and you lose him, and then being at Utah, I think they cover that 12.5. And I feel more confident about that than I feel about the Knicks -6. I do have the Warriors +6 at the Suns. I think this is going to come down to just inside that. I'm still rooting for the Suns, obviously, but I believe it's gonna be. I'm hoping for it. Actually, I think we all should be hoping for that back and forth game that's down to the last nail biter there. And I'm thinking 3-4 points somewhere up in that range. And then I had the Lakers +3, and I say that very hesitantly. The only reason why I'm saying that is because they're still missing a majority of their team. The Nets are. They do get James Harden back, but they still don't have KD or Kyrie for this. So that's where and it's at the Lakers. That's literally the only reason why I'm doing it. The Lakers aren't looking good. I don't know what they need to do to turn the season around to be a true championship contender. They don't play defense, gentlemen. They have all the offensive weapons in the world that can do this, even at their age. They all look special when they're out there. They can still do that, but none of them play defense, so they can't stop anybody. They threw up. I don't know if you guys seen this the other night or 2 nights ago. Russell Westbrook and LeBron both threw up like over 30 and basically averaged almost a triple-double in that game. They still lost to the Spurs 130-111. It's because they don't play defense. So I don't know what piece needs to move.
Russell.
Unfortunately, I wish it was actually
Anthony Davis.
No, I actually think it should be LeBron. If you didn't want to scorn him or worry about his feelings, you would move LeBron because I think they've had a better product when those other guys are healthy. As in, AD hasn't been healthy with Russell at the same time, and then you get some Rajon in there also that way, because Rajon is getting blocked out because you have who we just said, Westbrook and LeBron on the court. So,
right,
yeah, won't happen.
It won't happen though. So, and that's what I got.
All right. And I'll go. I only got 3. I'm actually taking the Mavs to cover versus the Jazz, 12.5 underdogs. I think they still lose, but last couple games Doncic's been out. They've been able to keep it within 7. So I think they'll keep it close. They got enough pieces to keep it close. They kept it close against the Bucks. I think they will still lose, but keep it under that 12.5. Taking Golden State to win versus Phoenix. They're 6.5 underdogs. I'm just hoping, Golden State lights it up. Honestly, I know that's going to be a tough game. They've already played a couple tough games against each other. And then I'm actually taking Lakers to win versus Brooklyn. Got them at 1.5 favorites. Yeah, I just think Brooklyn's so decimated by COVID and stuff being out that Lakers have just. I think they put enough out there.
Just enough. Yeah.
Just enough to beat Brooklyn
Yep.
by probably 5 to 10, somewhere like that.
Yep. I like it.
And that's all I got for basketball. I don't know if you got anything.
Yeah.
What? You're not going to pick all 5?
No.
Chicken
No.
shit.
I don't
Chicken
feel
shit.
comfortable. It wasn't on top of all the all the COVID stuff.
Yeah, I
There's been
know.
so much COVID.
I know.
going
That was the other part about picking. I'm like, there's so much COVID stuff going on. I don't know. I knew some that were
Yeah.
missing. I didn't know where their update was because it feels like Giannis has been out for a while
Right.
now. So I'm like, is Giannis in? What's up?
Yeah, definitely. I'll just roll through the list quick. I've got the Knicks taking care of the Hawks here, especially because our guy's out, man. It's going to be a big deal, and the Knicks are playing better. I mean, Kemba's balling out. I think they're going to be fine.
Lost a close one last night.
Yeah.
But Kemba went for like 44, I think.
Yeah. I think he had 28 in the first half. Jeez. Yeah. He's balling out, so I think he's a starter now from here on out. Just got to defend a little better.
Mhm.
But Bucks are going to take care of the Celtics. I just think they're a better team. Celtics have been playing well, but it is at home. Even with Giannis out, they should be fine. Suns, Warriors. I think the Suns ultimately end up winning this game, but I think the Warriors are going to cover. What was it, 6.5 there in that game? It's going to end up showing how important it is for home court because the Suns beat them at home earlier, then they lost in Golden State. Now they're going back. I think the Suns take care of it again. I think it'll be an entertaining game, and inside that.
Kit, let me make one comment there, though. When they lost that one to the Warriors, they didn't have Big Dick Booker, and they do have him back.
They didn't have him for most of the game the first time either.
For half.
Yeah.
I mean, the momentum, and then I'm just saying like that.
It makes a difference for sure. Yeah.
But like that Warriors one, maybe they want to split it. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, either way, I mean, those two teams are the class of the NBA right now, right?
Yeah.
I think Phoenix is 24-2 in their last 26 games.
Yeah, Wizards.
They're rolling. Wizards. The Lakers, I do have them beating the Nets, not because they're a better team, but because LeBron likes to show out on Christmas and make it seem like this is a potential championship game and we beat them. But it's not important to everybody. Yeah. But it will be to him, and he'll ball out. And then Jazz. Yeah, Jazz is going to cover as well against the Mavericks. Jazz are playing really well, and old boy's out, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and he's so important. But yeah, that's what I've got for NBA picks, boys.
You.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need to touch on?
Real quick, considering this is our quote-unquote Christmas episode, I just wanted to ask you guys, what is the worst Christmas gift you have ever gotten?
Go ahead.
That's why I was looking at you. Why do I
Yeah.
go first?
Yeah, Danny, go
big
ahead.
guy. Come on, silent radio.
Man, the worst Christmas gift I ever got. Man, I'd say when I was a kid, I got a lot of like hand-me-down stuff on Christmas. So I'm sure I could say something like that. Oh, no, you know what? I know what it is. My parents were shiesty when I was a kid, specifically my dad. And so my brother and I we each got a bike for Christmas, right? Which you'd think, oh, awesome. Like, that's pretty cool, whatever. Well, we got this bike for Christmas, and then we were across the street. We lived right across the street from a big field. There's a school and that over there. We were across the street playing football or doing something, and we got back home, and the bikes were gone, right? We're like, what the hell? And my dad's like, well, somebody broke in and stole them. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Like, what? Did you call the cops? Like, what happened? He says, no, I did. I just saw them when they left or whatever. Like, I didn't know who it was, blah, blah, blah. Well, long story short, there was a guy that we knew that actually was, he did, a little bit of drugs and things like that.
Extracurriculars.
Extracurriculars.
Like a week later, I saw this guy riding a bike that looked exactly like mine. And I'm like, Dad, what the hell? Like, did you know he's riding my bike or whatever? No, that can't be. It's not the same bike. Like, no, whatever. Like, so the purpose of this is it's the worst present because I got it and then it got stolen from me. But not really stolen. I think my dad sold it.
I think he sold it or traded
yeah.
it off
Yeah.
for something.
Traded it off. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah, so that was rough.
Jimmer,
Yeah.
what about you?
Oh, man. There are so many bad ones. We can go many routes. We can go clothes, which always is up there because my stuff was always too expensive, I guess. But I'm going to go around the same route as my man Danny here. And I'm going to go a different route, a slightly different. And it's got to be any one, and you pick whichever one, any one of the game systems that was given to me by my father. Great gifts, but it's actually a bad gift because usually they didn't come across honorably, or in other words, paid for. So when somebody comes and gets it, now whether it's usually law enforcement, and then somebody gets locked up, they don't care about the kid's heart and soul and feelings. They usually take it.
Dang.
So that's the reason why for me it's got to be the worst gift, because I had it for a little bit and then it got taken away because I don't know, working a 9 to 5 was too boring. My dad lived a hustler life.
Hustler life.
Straight hustling.
All right.
What'd
My
you
worst
got?
gift is R.I.P. Grandma, but she's like, "Oh, I got you this sweater I knitted you or whatever," and it was like 3 sizes too small. I was like, "I love it. I wear this thing." I like put it in the closet for 5 years and then threw it away finally. It was like nothing. The worst gift I've ever seen given, and I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose, was my brother-in-law, Cody. He got my boys this Ninja Turtle toy that if you squeezed on it, all it did, it was nothing, just like an action figure, but if you squeezed on it, it went, stuck his tongue out, went, bah! That's the only noise it made, right? That's all it did. So for years, this thing, and I could never get rid of it, just randomly, bah! The loudest, most annoying. And my kids kept it for years, and it like the batteries wore down where it just was like,
It'd be randomly doing itself.
It's like
yeah. Like, I'm like, let's throw that thing in the trash. The most annoying toy. Of course, they loved it, right? And it didn't do anything special. That was the worst gift I've ever. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna find the most annoying thing to send to your kids, and
it's always the best when you get friends gifts like that for their kids that annoy
Don't
the
say
shit
something
out of them.
stupid.
oh yeah.
No, actually, one
I
of
thought
my
you were talking
favorite.
about the baseball bat.
That's pretty funny though.
No, it's not that funny.
One of the best gifts that I've ever given the boys, Jimmer's kids, is this basketball. It was basically like something you'd see in Chuck E. Cheese. The whole setup, you had to race and try to get more points and all that stuff. It was a really fun gift, but they destroyed their bedroom with that thing in the basketballs and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it lasted even, but it was fun for a minute.
Yeah.
Nah, it didn't last near as long as what it should have because they beat the shit out of it.
it.
I mean, they used the hell out of it. Don't get me wrong. It isn't like it didn't get used.
You
But
can't blame the kids on. So like my parents, they gave me one Christmas, and we were really poor one Christmas, and I think I got a used aluminum baseball bat, like a sack of golf balls, and like, what do you expect that I'm gonna do with that shit? Right. So
I'm going to hit dingers.
I was teeing
I'm
off.
going to hit
I was
dingers.
teeing these bitches off, and like they were traveling a fuckload
Oh,
down
yeah.
and breaking shit, and then I got in trouble, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute,
Hold on.
like this kind of adds
What'd you
up.
expect?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you hand me this stuff as a
Heavy as shit, and you think I'm not going to do something stupid?
7 or 8 year old. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
No, there's other ones where, guys get, their kids a gift, and, hardworking guy, works 16, 17 hours out of a day, construction. You come and lay down on the couch, pass out hard. It was in the winter. And you get woken up by a big old plastic baseball bat hitting you right in the fucking face.
I feel like I've heard this story.
And it does everything you can. You wake up. Obviously, you wake up from that. And it takes everything you got not to drop this little motherfucker. Just bang! Because that's how you got woken up. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to grab my face. What the hell? That bat was bought by Danny.
Yes.
who was hit.
Me.
Oh,
The
There you go.
best part of this story is his wife was watching the whole thing.
Yeah,
She
she
let
let
it
this
happen.
happen.
oh,
Whap! Right on the face.
yeah. I'd probably let it happen too.
Yeah.
Just want to see what would happen. Whatever.
It bounced right off my face. Woke me up suddenly. I was not happy. Everyone else got a nice chuckle out of it.
Merry Christmas.
I could still feel it.
And happy holidays.
I'm telling you.
It's not cool, man.
Well, let's roll into it makes sense if you don't think about it. And so I'm on deck today. So I've got to tell a little story. And you will realize it definitely makes sense if you don't think about it. So when I was a youngin', I moved out of my dad's house when I was like 17. And so I was working full-time plus going to school. Didn't go to school that much when I was a senior, so I ended up going to a different school so I could work and go to school. But I lived in this tiny apartment, okay? And it barely, you could kind of say it had a bedroom, but it was so small. Regardless,
The
would have...
The kitchen was huge.
The kitchen was huge.
The kitchen was huge.
That's where this incident happened, too.
Okay.
More room.
And so there was definitely fire hazards and everything else because there were points, because Jimber was over there all the time, where we would have easy 25, 30 people in this small apartment. We had no business having that, but we did. And we were of age drinking at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Always. Responsibly.
we had drank a lot, and I had a really cool knife.
You piece of shit.
At least at
This
the
is where
time, I
we're
thought it was
going.
really cool.
This is where we're going.
And I don't remember why Jimmer had it in his hand, but he did. I think he was opening a case. He was doing something with it, though, whatever it was. And my girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, he's pretty drunk. You should probably get that from him, And I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right. I don't want him to stab himself or something." And I'm like, "Hey, give me that knife." And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Dude, you got to give me the knife. Like, I don't want anybody going to the hospital tonight."
I feel like there's way too many words. I'm gonna let you finish this, and then we're gonna get defensive.
And
You already look guilty, so
well.
He's not wrong. I'm just
So I get so he's got the knife, right? And I go to grab it. I'm like, "Dude, give me the knife." And so I pull, and he like grips it harder, like he's not gonna. I'm like, "Dude, give me the fucking knife." I take the knife from him. He has the blade out, and the sharp part of the blade is in the palm of his hand. So I diced up the entire palm of Jimmer's hand because I didn't know he was holding the fucking knife like that.
Nice.
blood pouring down my arm. I obviously was intoxicated. Definitely of legal age. My cousin's my cousin's cousin was down the street. She was kind of like a RN. Because obviously my mature ass didn't want to go to the hospital. Didn't want to tell mom what I was doing. This was really deep.
It was a sharp knife, dude. They cut deep.
They fixed me up and got bandaged up. The only thing I need to defend is that there was not that much conversation. He came up and said, "Hey, give me the knife."
Well, not with you.
And no, it wasn't even that. Because he's like, "Hey, he grabbed the knife." Where I was wrong was where he's gonna go ahead and make fun of is that I was holding the knife in my hand opposite, and he didn't see that. So
Yeah, it didn't, and he did not loosen up when I was pulling away. He actually tightened that grip.
yeah.
He didn't want to give it up.
He does that to other people too when they're doing certain things with him. But
He tightens that grip.
I don't know what that means. Can you put
What's
that
that?
into words and context for me?
3 gigs after
yeah,
dark.
3 gigs after dark. We got to make him pay for that.
Yeah. But
But
it
regardless,
makes sense.
makes sense.
Hey,
Makes
don't
sense
think
if
about
you
it.
don't think about it.
And to tie in words of wisdom to that story, don't hold a knife by the blade. Okay? Don't ever do that.
Don't
Because-
palm it.
Yeah, don't palm it. Don't hold it by the blade because it hurts and there's a lot of blood.
Words of
All
wisdom.
right, guys?
Yep.
Hold the knife by the handle like it's supposed to.
Correct.
Where's the instruction saying that?
I'm sure it's. I'm actually 100% sure it's
Are you
on.
sure?
Yes, on. I'm pretty sure I opened a knife and it said.
what printed on the knife? Because
No, not on the knife, but on the
weird. Because was there
handle.
instructions next to the knife anywhere?
There might have been, actually. Yeah.
Did you take it out of the container, James Holder?
I might have been young,
Yeah.
but not
But
not
not.
younger than 21. I don't think.
No, yeah,
That
we
must
were-
have been 21 exact.
Yeah.
So you were at that you were in that small. God damn, dude! You just ratted us out. You dry snitch.
We
Yeah,
were-
they're
we
You
were
dry
said
21.
you no.
snitching.
I
You
said
said
we
you were
21.
17 when
That's
you got
when I
the.
moved out. This was years later. After
Was
I
it
moved
years later?
out. Yeah, 4
I'm
years
t-
later.
I'm like 2 years younger than you. How many fucking years could that have been?
Yeah,
you know
so,
what?
I was 23 then.
Speaking of, speaking of, possibly doing a little bit of that underage drinking that y'all
Whoa.
supposedly were not doing. I remember when I was drinking Four Locos, man, back when they could kill you. You know?
Yeah.
They were killing people, and I'm just out there.
Just living your best
Mom,
life.
Dad, I'm having a sleepover. Like, what's that?
Oh man, that was back. We were drinking the shittiest beer. We'd go get Mad Dog
Yeah.
2020 to chase
Oh, yeah.
the
Natty
Hawkeye
Light.
vodka. We were
Sorry,
shooting.
Tyler, but Natty Light's horrible.
It's awful.
Yeah, no, we drank
Keith
bottoms
Stone.
out. We drank bottom everything alcohol.
Yep.
It was Hawkeye, which gross. I will never touch willingly, knowingly.
I never had
Again.
Old English till I got up here
OE?
in college.
Oh yeah,
Drinking
yeah.
little OE.
I think I would still do an OE. I
Yeah.
think I would still do one of
Yeah,
those.
I don't hate that. It's got to be the 40 though, right?
Yeah, it's
Gotta
gotta be
be,
the 40.
gotta
Oh
be.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
definitely going back to the roots, baby.
Eat
Yeah.
40 hands, baby. Let's go.
That's right.
That being said, some of the I don't remember tasting a good liquor until plenty about. I didn't even know what to order when I was 21 and I was legal, because I only knew the most expensive stuff I drank up to that point, probably that I can remember, Jack Daniels. So it would always be Jack and Coke.
Jack and
That's
Coke.
what
Jack
I would always
Coke was
get.
big, yeah. Jack
I would
Coke
just
was
go
big
get
and-
Jack and Coke, and
Yeah.
that was an expensive drink because otherwise it'd be what, Canadian LTD or Black Velvet or something like that.
Yep.
And then our expensive drink was Jack.
Yeah.
Danny can't drink Jack.
I'm telling you.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, things are different than there was a time in my life where I definitely had no business drinking that.
No, innocent
trying to-
innocent people
Yeah.
that were
Innocent
that were
people.
literally just walking by, not saying anything.
Innocent people.
Yeah.
Just innocent people. The fuck you look at what, Danny?
No comment.
They're literally
comment.
they're literally looking
I
at the
know.
concrete.
Is he making up stories over there? He might be misinformed.
Oh, you might be.
No.
You might not be though.
Oh, I remember one of them, Miss Kitty's for sure. The bar down there in what was that, West Des Moines?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't know he was running off sneaking shots of it. Next time we know,
I didn't know either though.
you must not have. You must not
He's like,
have.
I
No,
don't know.
he's outside. He's on the bench. There's a bench or a rock. Which one was it?
There's a bench out there.
Was
yeah.
there a bench out
Yeah,
there? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, we all party. We've all done dumb shit, passed
Yeah.
out.
Man.
I'm a wanderer.
Danny's a wanderer.
Yeah, and he won't tell nobody he's wandering.
Yeah.
either.
Yep.
Like, hey, where's Danny? Well, he's already down to his boxers and passed out in his bed. He walked home.
But
Yeah.
for the record, I wasn't in my boxers till you got there, so I don't know what happened.
Excuse me?
But
Excuse me? That's what you're going to try to put on me?
3 gigs after dark, boys. Save it.
Save
We got to make him
it.
pay for it.
Gotta pay, baby.
You're right. All right, boys, let's wrap her up. Once again, everybody out there, have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
Spend some time with your families and relax. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. The podcast is available.
Everywhere. Apple, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we need, Rio?
We need you to share, like, rate us. Not 1 stars. If you're anything under 2,
Yeah.
cut it out.
Yep, don't do it.
But
And-
yeah, just share. If you have some makes sense, if it doesn't think about it,
Yeah.
DM us. It goes down in the DMs. Send it
goes
to
down
us.
DMs.
We'll let them know.
Keep it semi-private.
Yeah, definitely.
And money.
We got a lot of interaction over
Money.
Rio's
got-
video the other day,
We
too.
got, yeah, that's a crazy story. Plenty more of those. But we'll have some apparel coming out here shortly, so y'all can represent. And so yeah.
Boom. I love it. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
From nothing, no hindsight discussions. I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, them